Hi, everybody. Bill Combe here, and we're at the Barstow Entrepreneur Center, and talking to me is the executive director, Paul Courtney, who I'm sure a lot of you folks already know. He's been a member of this community for how many years, Paul?
Well, actually been in business for 31 years, but I was born and raised here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so May 18th, 1961.
Yeah. All right. Very good. He was born the year I graduated from high school. Okay. Well, this has been a building here on West Main, and an event that the people of Barstow have been looking forward to for some time. They heard a lot about the Entrepreneur Center, and now obviously they can see it. It's been erected, and it's is it completed inside and out now, or is there still stuff to be done?
We still have things to do. Right now we're about 87% finished. We're still working on completing the e-commerce market on the end, and our boardroom, which is at the we call it Suite 150 on the campus. Mm-hmm. But we're almost there. Okay. Slowly but surely. On May the 18th, we'll actually do our second preview. On the second preview, the e-market will open, as well as the boardroom will also open also at that time.
Okay. Well, with this is, and there's going to be a host of activities that are going to be taking place here. First of all, give us, if you would, a description of exactly what the Entrepreneur Center is.
The Entrepreneur Center.
Yeah.
Boy,
we've got a half hour.
They're kind of like tied into, well, it's a Success Enhancement Center. And with it being Success Enhancement, we focus on four major components. That's the professional development side. That's whether it's education or business development. On the education side, we encourage students to be engaged if they're in elementary, to do their best, middle school, high school, as well as college. And we'll also help them with tutoring services. Students who make appointments for tutoring services, there's no cost for tutoring services if they make an appointment. And we do our best to get volunteer experts as well as some paid experts, if necessary, to really help the students to be better engaged and actually pursue their education. On the business side of the house, we offer a menu of business deliverables for people to build their business plan, expand their business plan, help them refocus on human resource issues, financial planning. We partner with Small Business Administration, and I encourage people to go to the Small Business Administration website, because there are, hundreds of different services available online, and we bring them alive here at the center.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I would imagine with all the categories and all the areas that you are going to offer to folks that there is a lot of partnering going on.
Yes. This is a resource center. That's why it's called the Entrepreneur Resource Center. And we've partnered, like for instance, on April the 20th, we have a procurement summit here at the center. And we partner with the Department of Defense out at Fort Irwin, the contracting office, as well as Riverside Community College, their procurement department, which is supported by the Small Business Administration. And we've all come together to actually hold that event here in the community for contracting opportunities. It's going to be at Fort Irwin for contracting years 17, 18. And so there'll be potential business people coming from all over the nation actually coming here to Barstow with the ability to bid on Department of Defense contracts, primarily out at Fort Irwin. And just another example of us collaborating with the local area to bring resources under one roof, really focused on new business development, actually economic development for the community. And I'm a firm believer that the entrepreneurs really drive the world as we speak. It's just the small, the medium businesses that really create the world of commerce. And the center's all about creating the world of commerce here in 92311. And as people walk into the center here, they see the world news happening all the time. Matter of fact, right in the back of us, if you just look back there, you see what's happening in the world as we speak. Because oftentimes I've discovered here in Barstow that most people don't realize that there's a world outside of Barstow. And so this center is really about bringing the world to anyone who wants to experience the world in Barstow in one campus.
When did you discover that?
Well, it's very interesting how I discovered that. As many know, the Entrepreneur Center is actually my capstone project from my doctorate degree. I'm almost finished. On April the 17th, I'll actually present this particular project to my committee. It's like a dissertation, but this is actually a qualitative, so it's a capstone. And on April the 18th, I should at that time be given the distinction of being a doctorate. And that's Doctorate of Global Business and Entrepreneurship. So this is actually my project for my doctorate degree. And through my research, I've discovered leaders' actions, words, and behavior really create hope in followers. So the center has been built. It's been built, I'm an owner builder, and I have 4 other individuals that have helped put it together, but we've actually built this. So this is a student-driven center. And as you look around, it looks different from anything really around here, because we weren't given preset guidelines, directions, or instructions. This is actually a living organism, for lack of a better term, and this is what you see. Everything is about exploring possibility, having a good time, enjoying all the opportunities that exist for those who really want to make it here, really in America. Yeah. But this brings it to 9311 in Barstow, and because we really reflect America right here in Barstow.
Yeah. You mentioned that there's nothing like this around here, especially when you walk in the door and there's like 5 or 6 big screens facing you right there with everything that's happening as you speak.
Yeah, the entire world.
Yeah.
Right here.
You mentioned a little earlier that this is also for businesses who are already established, that are looking to grow their business. So there's opportunities for figuring out how to do that here.
Yes, individuals who are, whether it's small, whether it's a startup, because we work with business planning and development, or it's a small business that wants to expand. Because, many of the businesses here locally, and with me being here for 30 years and consistently, there's many businesses that have, their secretary does human resources, they do billing, they do collection, they do all kind of things. And they can't really grow outside of that 2 to 3 or 4 person type of business. Well, with Pace, since I've been around for long, I've employed thousands of employees. And here in our company, we have human resources. We have a collections department. We have a scheduling department. We have a compliance officer. We have a trainer. I mean, we have all those components within my business. And because we operate as a medium-sized business, so we have all these different departments. So we're able to offer through the center all those resources to people. And we can schedule their jobs. We can book their jobs. We can do their customer care, their customer service, their soft skill training, their human resources. We can provide all those services right here to the center.
Okay, let me ask you this. Did this endeavor come from your schooling and going for your doctorates for it to be centered in Barstow, or is this something that you've been thinking about for a while? Well, why did you pick Barstow, in other words?
Well, I picked Barstow because it's my hometown, really. Because when I decided last summer, so the summer of 2015, that I was going to do a capstone project, Barstow really wasn't something I was thinking about. Because I was actually thinking about maybe Rancho Cucamonga, Ontario, Irvine, whatever, because there's a center similar to this in Irvine, which is called the Cove. And I've got some colleagues down there. And I'm like, I love this place. So I made the decision to do an entrepreneur center. I thought, maybe I'll do it in Rancho Cucamonga, or something like that. And I kind of shared the idea with a few, Rotarian brothers and sisters in Barstow. They said, well, why don't you think about putting one in Barstow? I'm like, well, I think that's a good idea. Because I thought, it'd probably be, it wouldn't cost me $5 million to do it, in Barstow. I thought maybe a couple $100,000. So that was my first economic concern. I could probably do it in Barstow for less than $1 million. But at the same time, I thought, I'm not really sure if Barstow would embrace an entrepreneur center. So when I started pitching the idea around town, it was just like, no, you're crazy. No, they're like, what is that? What is that anyway? And that alone made me think, man, people really don't understand, especially at home, what I'm talking about. Because they've also always asked me, well, Courtney, you've been in business all these years, and it seems like you guys have never really struggled in Barstow. I said, no, we really haven't. Because I have a business plan. And my business plan is really based on realities of today. So we see things happening, and we see whether it's going to be an economic crunch or whatever. Because I see this, I do a lot of forecasting. And from that, I thought, something? I had no idea so many businesses in town, our local citizens, weren't really aware of what it takes to be a successful enterprise. And I thought, something? What better place to do it in Barstow? So then I made the decision to actually start doing it here, because when I bought the property, and I really thought people were going to embrace the whole idea, but actually it wasn't really that embraced, because they're like, you got to be crazy. You're doing what? Yeah, I mean, I still get that to this day. To this day, like, man, we don't think you're going to make it. I'm like, you don't know what you don't know. Because we have events booked right now. We have events booked with Head Start. We have events booked with the county of San Bernardino. We have events booked with the Department of Defense as we speak. And I'm not really open because we're still going through some local infrastructure challenges with the fiber optic lines here in Barstow. And you would think in 2017, a progressive city wouldn't be dealing with fiber optic lines. And so those are one of those realities that I didn't expect. But I'm dealing with it. So
We're still waiting for fiber optics, I believe, aren't we?
Well, the thing about it is, you don't really, a lot of times you don't really realize, especially in a city, why cities don't grow or develop or change until you really start understanding the infrastructure and the things that are necessary for them to grow. And just through this experience itself, I've really discovered a lot of the reasons why we have kind of struggled here. Yeah, we kind of struggled here. And I didn't really know. I just assumed a lot of things. But I'm really experiencing some of the reasons why we have had delayed growth and expansion.
So we were talking about the technical and the advances of this building. Now, this building, when it opens and you get your fiber in here, it's going to be one of the probably be the cutting edge building in the city of Barstow for all of the like the information center like that, and it's also being developed for expansion in the future.
Oh yes, yeah. This building, I can confidently state right now, as we speak right now, this is the most cutting edge building that exists in Barstow, probably with the exception of maybe Barstow Community Hospital. They could probably compete with us when it comes to cutting edge. Really. Right here, because I've brought in the best of the best, from everything, from our TVs to our computers to everything, yeah. And like I said, there's no fiber optic here yet, but there will be fiber optic. I've actually got a commitment from the city that we'll have it here at the, this part of town by March the 31st, even if it's got to come overhead. Now, I was really surprised when I said, I'm like, overhead, I mean, who puts fiber optic lines overhead? But then I realized this is 92311. Yeah, so, it is what it is. Because if you walk out in front, you'll see the street's been marked and everything for it to actually be on the ground. But right now, we're stuck in yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, and as a result, the center's kind of stuck in yesterday. But we're going to bring it, it's going to come alive. I think the city department heads, they've learned a lot too, because I really believe everybody is trying to do the best for what we can do. But when you're told by the last person, well, the last person said this, and the last person said this, and the last person said this, so people keep saying what the last person said, and I've been told that along the way, and now I'm learning it doesn't exist, and they don't remember the last person who told them that.
And another thing that I'm sure they're already considering is that fiber optics is now the norm.
It is the norm.
So it is. There's a lot of things down the pike that's going to be coming in that you need to be preparing for right now.
Because the thing about it is, in 2017, fiber optics is the norm, and I assumed it was here. I mean, and I have to say, I was quite ignorant because I've been blessed to work all over the world. And we do business all over the state. And so I'm used to the norms. I'm really used to the norms. So when I started developing the center here, it was based on the norms that I've been used to. But then I've come to realize that there's quite a bit that exists here that's not really in the norms. It's 92311.
Well, Paul, that's about all the time we have for us today, but we're certainly looking forward to the time when those doors are swinging both ways with people are coming and going and getting all they can out of this facility. It's really great, and thanks for talking with us.
It's my pleasure, and I definitely welcome everyone to come out to the center, 1041 West Main. You can't miss us because, people think things aren't possible, but if you drive by here, you'll see a deer on Main Street in Barstow.
That's right, absolutely.
And let me tell you, here at the center, anything and everything really is possible. And we always ask them, what is your dream? And we try to bring those dreams alive. So I encourage everybody to go to ecbarstow.com because we're all about success enhancement and prosperity right here in Barstow.
Okay. Paul Courtney, ladies and gentlemen, stepping into the future with no fear, and assured that it's for the best. This is Bill Combs.